Does it live in a jungle?
No. Oh.
Is it really fast?
No.
Does it live on the Great Plains of Africa?
No.
Hey!
What is going on? Hold on, guys.
Daddy, be careful on the road.
Jerry?
Get back in your car right now! Remain with your feet!
I'd like to talk to you about flops. A few years ago, I came up with a very sort of simplistic formula. I was attempting to prove that in the modern movie marketplace, it was impossible for really expensive blockbuster movies to lose money if they followed some basic rules. The rules were as follows. Firstly, the budget had to be big enough that it was newsworthy. People had to write about the budget. That's how much money you'd spent, right? Secondly, it had to have spectacular visuals or special effects. It had to be a bunch of stuff up there on the screen that looked really eye-popping. Thirdly, and this was the strange one, it had to not be a comedy. Now, that doesn't mean that if it is a comedy, it'll definitely fail. But it means if it is a comedy, it may fail. I mean, you look at some of the really, really big money-losing movies of all time. Ishtar is a perfect example. Or more recently, Town and Country. Nobody even remembers Town and Country. Huge money-losing film. Comedy, you can lose your shirt on. And, most importantly, your film had to have an A-list star, a proper A-list star to guarantee success. Now, a while back, John Carter came out. John Carter was a total flop. One of the reasons it was a total flop was it didn't have an A-list star. And I've always held that whatever the problems were with that movie, if it wasn't John Carter of Mars, but Tom Cruise of Mars, that film could have made its money back. Well, recently I've had a number of texts and emails from people saying, hey, your rules are going to be sorely tested by a couple of releases this year. One of them, After Earth, the Will Smith film directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Second, World War Z, or Z, or whatever we're going to call it at the moment. Incidentally, Brad Pitt, when he was over here in the UK, called it World War Z, so I think we're going with that. Well, both of those films have now opened to very different responses, but crucially, neither of them look like they're going to break my rules. I mean, start off with After Earth. It costs something like 130 million. So far, as of the end of its second or third week, it's taken 172 million worldwide. Now, the general formula is that for a movie to make its money back, including marketing and all the rest of it, it has to take 2 times what it costs. So 130 million has to take 260. It's on 172 million. It's getting there. When you factor in DVD sales, it is going to make its money back. And Will Smith is a proper A-list star. Now look at World War Z. Very, very mixed reviews. Some people really like it, many people really hate it, a lot of people kind of in the middle. I thought it was a mixed bag. Started very strongly, then kind of lost its way. I thought it was a real mixed bag. Now, at the time, just before it was coming out, people said it's going to be a disaster of John Carter proportions. But it stars Brad Pitt, which John Carter didn't. So, film cost reportedly $200 million. So far, only been out in the cinemas for a very short period of time, it's taken 112 worldwide. There is no way it's not going to make its money back. In fact, on the basis of its opening, the studios are so confident that they have now apparently greenlit a sequel. Now, the way that the sums add up, it may not take a huge amount of money. It may only just make that twice the budget back, but it's not going to lose money. See, I do still stand by those rules, and those rules lead me to the same conclusion, which is if you live in a world in which there are certain rules that you can obey that mean that you will make your money back, why doesn't Hollywood take more risks? If you're going to spend a lot of money to make a great big blockbuster movie, then do something intelligent with it. Because the fact of the matter is, if the money's on the screen, if the press are writing about the money, if it's not a comedy and it's got an A-list star, you're not going to lose money. So hey, with that kind of guarantee, do something exciting.